beautiful mushroom cheese egg scramble. Build my resiliency one piece at a time in a system that's called by the numbers. So it's my checklist for keeping me on track towards building a sustainable future for myself. Oh, and by the way, I am Vicky Manitu.okahas. So tell you what, why don't I just go through a brief listing of by the numbers. Number one is to purchase one item every week that I go to the grocery store to build my resiliency pantry. Item two is 2 uses for every package. 3 is a focus on the 3 sisters. So it's basically a grain, a legume, and a storage vegetable. Number 4 is learn 4 plants in your area to know how to forage. 5 is 5 minutes to stop, breathe, and center. So when things go haywire and everything's going sideways, I just take a step back for 5 minutes and breathe. So 6 is find 6 people that you can count on when things get tough. 7 is develop 7 easy, flexible meals that you can turn to when things are difficult. 8, failure is a part of the learning process. So I don't believe in failure. I believe in learning. So what most people see as failure is actually a part of the learning process. 9 is my 9 spices that I use for flavoring and medicine to get me through winter and the blahs. 10 is to develop 10 basic skills, one at a time. 11 is 11 tools for the kitchen and 11 basic tools for the home. 12 months to study and practice a skill and practice it daily. So I don't try to learn everything at once. I give myself a year on a skill to learn it and learn how to use that skill well. 13 is the 13 basic ingredients that I keep well stocked in my kitchen. Okay, well, that is a beautiful mushroom harvest for the first flush of pink mushrooms. And looky, the dragon is there to celebrate as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a chop and drop. So I'm going to preserve some of these mushrooms by chopping them, putting them in bags that are single serving bags or single recipe bags, and then I'm going to use a few of these to make my very special egg scramble. So we're going to set this aside. Okay, there I go. I have got the mushrooms all chopped up. I've got a few ready for my egg scramble. Just set that there. I have a batch, and the dragon is going to help me sort that out into recipe size batches to freeze. And then I'm just going to freeze those. And when I use frozen mushrooms, I do not thaw them out. Okay, I put them directly from the freezer into the pan while they're still frozen, so that they cook up nicely. And then we're going to start. I'm going to show you how to do a basic egg scramble. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do a basic egg scramble using these beautiful pink oyster mushrooms. So I'm going to start with a little bit of butter in my pan and turn the pan on to medium heat. And get that butter good and hot. I love my cast iron. It takes it just a little bit to warm up, but once it's warm, the heat is even. Properly conditioned and seasoned cast iron. As long as you start the oil first and get the oil hot, I do not have a problem with it sticking. Okay, so this is how I toast my bread. That's a good hearty sourdough bread. And I just toast it in the pan. This is one of the old school ways of toasting bread. You can do it over an open fire. You can do it in a toaster. I like this because I can put any bread in that pan and have beautiful buttered toast right out of the pan. Gives me time to chop any vegetables that I'm going to put in my egg scramble. Okay, today I'm just going to use mushrooms, but sometimes I put potatoes in there, onions, garlic, peppers are good in an egg scramble. All kinds of herbs that you can put into it. And you're looking for, okay, you see how that butter is starting to caramelize? Yep, that's perfect. So that butter caramelizing tells me about when it's time to flip that toast over. Okay, I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. I want to cook those mushrooms on a medium heat. Beautiful. Another pat of butter in there. Probably didn't need quite that much. It's okay. Sprinkle the mushrooms into that butter. I'm going to saute this mushroom as the pan is cooling down a little bit. And a good quick saute. As you're cooking the mushrooms, the first thing they do is soak up that butter. Okay, once the mushrooms start cooking down in the saute, they release the butter back into the pan, which is absolutely gorgeous. Mushroom flavored butter or oil. You can use olive oil or margarine, bacon grease, any oil that you like to use. The healthier oils are better for you. I am personally I like butter. Okay, that pan is cooled down a little bit. The mushrooms are sauteed beautifully. 2 eggs per serving. A little bit of sea salt. It's pink Himalayan. Stir that in well. If I was going to do other vegetables, I would have added the other vegetables first, then the mushrooms, then the eggs. When the eggs are just about done, a small handful of cheese. You can let that melt on top, or you can stir it in. I am going to stir it in. It works beautifully to put it on top if you have a lid for your pan. Not so, it doesn't work quite as well if you don't. Turn that off and let that sit for about 2 minutes to finish cooking. And while that is finishing, I am going to bag the mushrooms that need to be bagged. There's 4 bags of mushrooms. I'm going to freeze these flat, so I can either use the whole bag or take a few out at a time to put in the next egg scramble. And they're going to go in the freezer. And a beautiful mushroom cheese egg scramble. Another thing to remember about oyster mushrooms is they should never be eaten raw. So it's a light saute, and they are beautiful and nutritious in any meal. Well, I hope you enjoyed that look at what resiliency looks like here in my kitchen and behind the scenes. So that's just one of the things that I do to build resiliency in my life. So if you're interested in more of this kind of content, subscribe, like, and come and join us at Delectable Tiny Gardens, the meeting place for people looking to build resiliency in tiny spaces. So come for a 7-day free trial and check out the PDF by the numbers and some of the other resiliency tools that I have there, and get a support in your path towards resiliency in your life. So thank you for joining me, and hey, I look forward to talking to you later.